Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane from the YouTube channel Brett Keane Hollywood.
This is the first Brett Keane video that I have seen. However, this is apparently somebody that you guys are probably more familiar with than me, and I've seen some of your names down in the comments sections below. So, wish me luck.
And today we're going to talk about the fact that science has actually proven without a doubt that atheists actually do believe in God. Sure, they can call themselves an atheist, but we all know that atheists tend to lie about a lot of things.
To speed this up and not let this drag on for 15-20 minutes, I'm not going to talk about all the things that Christians have been known to lie about. You know, for example, like Ken Ham replacing occupational science with observational science and, completely just changing up the words because he felt like it, because it fits his little spiel. Stuff like that. I'm going to just ignore all the lying that Christians have been known to do and say, so the fuck what? If we have lied before, we lie about things. We're humans. We lie. Everybody lies. House said that best. Everybody lies. To say that we are lying about our atheism would assume that we'd be doing this for a particular reason. How are we prospering from this? What are we getting out of this? Because it's really convenient for me to be, when I officially first came out, to be kind of an outcast of my family. That was really lovely. I so enjoyed that. I loved having all of my family against me. Yeah, that's exactly why I got into atheism. And I'm making so much money being this. Oh, that's right. I'm not. I have to keep it a secret to all the people that are around me, except for those on YouTube and a very few close-knit group of people. So, yeah, okay, moving on.
But they were not able to lie in a scientific experiment done to see if atheists actually do believe. Of course, one of the most common questions they were asked is, do you believe in God? Whenever they answered no, unfortunately, the machine and the technology and the experiment itself proved otherwise, showing that they were lying.
Speaking of people that are lying, that was a lie. I will post a link down below with the actual, from the Taylor and Something Foundation online study where they actually get this source from. Now, they did ask if they believed in God. That was to be able to get their sample, to be able to grab atheists and Christians. But these atheists were not under the skin-conducting little test thingy that they used when they asked, do you believe in God? So, either Brett is lying, or the person that told him this was lying as well. So, I find that very interesting.
Then they were also asked questions like they were challenged to pray to God and ask him to destroy their own family members and friends.
They weren't asked questions. They were sitting in front of a screen connected to all the cool nodules and crap like that for the skin conductivity tests for the sweat. There were different statements were put up on the screen. Like, it's okay to kick a puppy, and or it's an offensive statement, or it's okay for a woman that's wearing provocative clothing to get raped, and then different non-offensive statements, and then also statements about God. I wish God would rape this person. I wish God would kill this person, etc., etc. They were told to first read it and then say it out loud, and they were even given options to take back what they said, which was part of the study as well, to see how they would respond or whatever, just stuff like that. So yeah, just fixing that little bit there.
When they decided to go ahead and do this, interestingly enough, they got even more anxiety, even more arousal. Not the kind of arousal where you're sexually turned on. They just got worked up. Interestingly enough, ladies and gentlemen, according to the Bible, it says that there is no man with excuse. Any man that says there is no God is a fool. So, There you go. Science clearly points out that atheists actually do believe in God.
This is true. Uh, in the study, they had the three different statements. The neutral statements really had no effect, a little to no effect on the atheist. The more offensive statements, like it's okay to kick a puppy, and women that wear revealing clothes deserve to get raped, that spiked up their the sweat factor. And then the phrases such as "I wish God would do this," "I want God to rape my family," "I want God to kill so and so," etc. That really did spike up the sweat, which is understandable. So they gave some good few reasons. One example was saying that maybe atheists do implicitly believe in God, even though they don't explicitly, which is what pretty much Brett here is trying to say. But here's the thing. This test was far from perfect. Well, first off, let's talk about the sample size. There was about 16, 17 atheists in this sample size. That's it. That's, I'm sorry, but when you do a sample study, you do more than just a little over a dozen people to do this. This is obviously not a grand scale. So the sheer numbers are just serious. They do not provide some sort of conclusive understanding of anything. Secondly, I love how there was the peace sign. Instead of doing this, I did two, I did peace. Anyways, what kind of atheists did they have? Could they have been fresh atheists? Could they have been fresh out their deconversion? Could they have been there for a year, 2 years, 3 years? Could they have been atheists all their lives? Were they, ever Christians? How deep were they in their, Christian religion? How strong are they at this moment? Are they anti-theist? Are they agnostic atheists? Are they, strong atheists, weak atheists? These things weren't really covered. Now, they did say in the study itself that about 70% of the atheists, of the 16, they were Christians prior to this. So, as a person that was a former believer, a former Christian, I can tell you that as much, it's amazing how Christianity is still sort of ingrained, and it's still, it was a part of my personality growing up. It becomes so part of who I am that, you can't just dismiss it. It took time to get past, the thoughts, the fear of hell and stuff like that. So yeah, there's obviously still going to be subconscious, things going on. I mean, that's all in the wiring in your brain there. So there, there's no consistency with the atheist population and no really understanding of what kind of atheists they were, and it's really hard to make any conclusive findings with that. Then there is, of course, the elephant in the room of the lack of causal agent that is clearly defined, at least in the study. And the atheist had a chance to respond to each statement and explain why there was that uncomfortable, or that extra sweating that came about from the study per each statement. And the overwhelming majority of the statements were, even though I don't believe in God, nevertheless, this is an unpleasant thing to ask to happen. We're social animals. We're social species. The last thing we want is to, imply or even just say verbally that we wish something would happen. It's very odd. It's very weird. And if you don't think so, I really challenge you to do it yourself. To just kind of sit there and say, I wish somebody would, kill my family. And then really just think about that and just saying it out loud. It is kind of unnerving. Regardless of all that, and you'll read it if you go to the link below, you'll see that the researchers themselves say it is inconclusive. There are several good reasons for why the atheists believe or acted in the manner that they did, and their test was not designed to separate those. They said that it's required, that they need to. So to turn around and, as Christians, they go, look, there you go. Science proves it. Atheists believe in God. No. The researchers themselves don't even say it. So once again, Christians are either are guilty of confirmation bias or guilty of lying. I'm going to go with both. But something that I believe you guys really need to know. You Christians that maybe have just heard about this but didn't get told the whole story, you may want to stay tuned in.
But they sit on video and they make money off of running their mouth about religion and talking trash about God and everything. It's a check for them. It's money. We don't know how they actually live their lives. You don't know if after they turn off their video, after they get done running their mouth, if they're on their knees praying, please God, forgive me for all the jerk off things I've done.
You motherfuckers, all my fellow atheists here have been doing all this and making money and not telling me about this? Negation of P, Matthew Steele, Captain Awesome-O, 21st Century Man, Karen S. You guys have been just leaving me in the dark. I've been making all these videos, making all kinds of YouTube money. I've been probably laughing on your yachts. And look at the atheist chef, he doesn't even have a yacht. You bastards.
But what we do know is that if atheists are actually telling the truth about science, that they care about it, they care about facts, truth, and evidence, then they're going to have to accept what science has clearly pointed out, that atheists do in fact believe in God.
You know, I always love when Christians want to use science when it benefits them and ignore all the times when science doesn't. So, remember that little part where I said you need to stay tuned? Well, here it is. Now, in that same study, and again, click the link below and you'll find it, it wasn't just atheists that were polled. They tested Christians as well. And we see very similar trends. In the neutral statements, there was hardly any extra sweat. In the offensive statements, kick a puppy, where women that wear revealing clothes should get raped. Christians and atheists both had similar, sweat or skin conductivity. When both atheists and Christians were given statements as to say, God, I wish you would rape this person, or I wish God would make this person die, etc., their skin conductivity went up. Atheists went from 0.2 to 0.14, and Christians went up 0.2 to 0.9. Now, this is a good bit less, but still, it leaves me questioning. Why were Christians so worried? I mean, I thought God was supposed to be all loving. Why wouldn't they be afraid that God would actually do it? Did they see the standards that God has given them? Show them so far. Kids starving on a regular basis, dying from cancer, dying from diseases. Did they start to really think in the back of their mind, like, hey, maybe it's not too much of a stretch to think that God would do it because He's done it before. Anyways, that's the end of the video. But to Brett Keane, Hollywood, and other Christians like it that have read this report and assumed that atheists do believe in God and that they're hiding it, you're wrong. The science doesn't show that. The science does not make it conclusive. The report says it itself. I recommend you look into your sources before you just go blindly believing anything that somebody says, and to assume that we're lying is quite laughable, because you yourself, either you're lying to your subscribers, Brett, or you were reading a source that was lying to its people, lying to you. So, this is the Atheist Chef signing off. Peace.